Welcome to Test Prep CA9 Part 1. I hope you're ready for a great time of review, and I hope that you've done a lot of hard work up to this point. Don't forget, always do the questions again by yourself. It seems really easy when Mr. Sims is doing it. That's because I've had lots of practice, and with lots of practice, you can be just as good as I am too. So here we go. Moving on to Test Prep CA9 Part 1, it says, a bunch of monkeys took a 6-question exam. The table below shows the number correct scores and the number of monkeys who got that score. Pretty amazing monkeys, huh? Which of the following graphs represent the data in this table? Explain why the others are incorrect. So what I want to do, first of all, whenever you're working with graphs, you want to make sure you pay good attention to not only the data, but the titles. The titles will get you more often than not. So make sure you're paying good attention to the titles. So we're going to go ahead and look at this first graph here. And what we want to look at is we want to just start off with one of the values that we have. We're going to start off with this one here, 1 and 1. So when the score is 1, the number of monkeys who earn that score should be 1. So we look at 1 here. Well, the number of monkeys that earn that score, the frequency, they put 3 instead of 1. That tells me that this data is incorrect. Now, if you didn't trust just that, you can keep going and you'll find there's other problems with it as well. When data is equal to 2, when the score is equal to 2, the number of monkeys who earn that score is equal to 5. Well, that matches. When the data is equal to 3, the number of monkeys who earn that score is 3. When the score is equal to 4, the number of monkeys who earn that score is 4. Very good. When the score is equal to 5, the number of monkeys who earn that score is 2 in this case. So here with this 2 and the initial one here with this 3, both of those are incorrect. So what that tells me is that this graph is just completely off from the data. They missed at least 2 points. So this graph is incorrect. All right. Moving on to the next one. This graph here, it says Brilliant Monkey Test Scores. Excellent. I like the title. And what we have here is, let's start looking at the values. When the score is equal to 1, the number of monkeys who earn that score equals 1 as well. When the score is equal to 2, the number of monkeys who earn that score is 5, which is right there on 5. Excellent. All right. When the score is equal to 3, the number of monkeys who earn that is 3. Hey, we're finding a great match here. When the score is equal to 4, the number of monkeys who earn that score is 4 as well. Wow. When the score is equal to 5, the number of monkeys who earn that score is 5. Hey, is that looking like a really good possibility? And when the score is equal to 6, the number of monkeys who earn that score is 3. Guess what? This graph seems to match perfectly. But there's a problem. Can you see what the problem is before I explain it to you? Try right now. Hopefully you notice that there is a problem. Yes, all of the data points match up, except they mixed up the titles. The test scores are here, not here. What that means is that when we were graphing it earlier, when we were checking to see if the points match, we were looking over here to be the scores. But that's not what the title says. The title says monkeys. So this would be the number of monkeys that got the score. And this would be the actual test score itself here. So those points are all backwards. These two titles are wrong. They, in fact, need to be reversed. So because they're not reversed, unfortunately, this graph, even though it seems to match up at first, does not match up to what we're looking for. So that's so sad. Such a sad graph. All right, moving on. Let's look at this graph here. This graph here has Brilliant Monkey Test Scores. And what we have is we have the test scores of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's look. When 1 is the test score, we should have a value of 1 monkey, like we saw up here. And sure enough, we do. Right here, it's 1. When the test value is 2, we should have 5, and that's what we find. When the test value is 3, we should have 3, and that's what we find, and both up here in this graph and on the graph itself. When the test value is 4, when the test score is 4, then we should have a value of, it says 4 up here, and sure enough, it's 4 here on the graph. When the test value is 5, here the graph says that it should be 5, and sure enough it is. And then when the test value score is 6, it says the number of monkeys earned that score is 3, and sure enough that is true. What that tells us is that this looks like a great candidate. But you never want to just trust that. What you want to do is you want to actually try and check the last one as well. Because sometimes you might have overlooked something, and it's always a good idea to just go ahead and check the last one as well. But it looks to me like even the titles are in the right place. So this one looks like a great candidate. If I had to guess, I would guess that one. But I don't have to guess. I can check this one over here on the right and just see. When the score is 1, the frequency value should be 1, but it's not. Here we see it's 3. And obviously that's a problem. So already right off the bat with that first one, we know that this table is not correct. But even if we didn't get that, there's another thing we could have done. If you add the 3, the 5, the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 3 together, you end up getting a value of 23. But this total says 20. What that tells me is that this graph just has at least one problem, maybe 2 problems. So there's just no point in choosing this graph as the answer. It's just not the correct answer. In fact, the graph itself is messed up because it should be 23 here, but instead it says 20. So this is just a bad answer choice. So basically what we have is we have this one's out because the 2 data points are wrong. This one's out because the titles are wrong. And this one looks perfectly correct. And this one's out because not only is the graph messed up itself, but it also has 1 data point wrong here. So the correct answer is this graph here. Hopefully you got that and you're doing great. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care.